we bring you the Car Symphony.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Woofless, and today I'm going to be bringing you a little bit of a commentary / review of Need for Speed. You guys seem to really enjoy the last video that I posted about it, and I want to let you guys know what I think of the game. I do have a decent history with Need for Speed. I played Need for Speed Underground with the awesome track Get Low in it. That was the good old days of Xbox, Halo, and Jet Set Radio Future. So I did start playing the game way back then. That must have been early 2000s. And I loved racing games. I always have. I love the speed. I love how you lose control the faster you go and you get that type of adrenaline rush from it all. Besides the point, Need for Speed Most Wanted. So this is the second title to Need for Speed Most Wanted, and it's on the whole premise of you're being chased by the cop. Kind of played off the whole Grand Theft Auto type style of gameplay, and I find that very interesting. Cops are an essential part. I know Hot Pursuit, you could even be the cops, and that was all a lot of fun too. So now Need for Speed Most Wanted is made by Criterion Games, which was bought by EA Games, if you guys do not know, and I believe this was in 2006 or something. Criterion Games is known for the most amazing racing game series ever, Burnout. I really enjoyed it. That game was awesome. Lots of hours of really just stupid fun on that game. Like, they got the mini games and the stupid fun really well. The single player, like, go off a jump and land in traffic and do as much damage as you possibly can. Okay, I can do that. So this game kind of, it definitely lends itself a little bit to the type of gameplay that you'd find in a game like Burnout Revenge, and I enjoy that aspect of it all. I, however, think that it kind of blurs the line between the two and lacks in a lot of ways that really made Burnout Revenge the game it was, and then lacks in saying the way that Need for Speed should be. So let's just break it down before I really go into the review, and let's talk about, first and foremost, the single player. The single player is really non-existent. Trying to play the single player, I don't find any interest at all. Basically how it works is there's like 10 most wanted cars, and you have to beat them. You have to beat them in a single race. The races don't change. It's always just a sprint, and after that you have to ram them and you get their car. There's really no way to not ram them. If you lose them, they'll appear if you keep on driving over and over again until you get them. So it took me once like 20 minutes. I was in a very underleveled car, and I was taking on the Porsche concept, and it just took me forever to finally get him down, but I did eventually. But he kept on disappearing and reappearing, and in the end it just got pretty boring. I mean, I shouldn't get the car, end of story. If he disappears, I lost him, big whoop. You know, that's the part of a video game that would have made it really interesting and really gotten you stressed about losing the car. So the single player, it lacks in a lot of ways. Now, the Need for Speed series has never had a riveting storyline, but at least it had some type of progression. This game does not. You cannot pick one particular car and really soup it up. You max it out after doing like 4 or 5 races. I fell in love with the Subaru, and I could only race it for 3 or 4 races, and then after that I really had no other choice other than to switch cars. I like the Subaru. I want to play it. I want to get it as souped up as possible until one other car really blows my mind away. That's how I always play video games, and this game didn't allow me to do that. That made the single player boring. I didn't want to switch to the Aston Martin or the Lamborghinis. I wanted to stick with one car, and I want to conquer the most wanted cars in that fashion, and I want to be known for my Subaru. But the game doesn't deliver that for you at all. It's a simple kind of grind to make all your cars to a certain level them up, you know, get all the pro things for them, and then take out the most wanted cars. Now, I have to admit I haven't beaten the single player, so I don't know if there's some type of twist at the end. I highly doubt it. Another thing about the single player that I really want to just cover really quick is the lack of crashes, and it's something that they actually promoted pretty heavily, and I find that the camera after you crash is really kind of boring. It doesn't really show you the magnitude of the crash. It really doesn't show you how far you've gone. It doesn't really give you the appropriate medium to understand the gravity of what you've just done. Instead, it kind of just zooms in on that awkward guy sitting in the car seat that never dies or never breaks his bones, and he has his big helmet on. He's just like, and I'm just like, yo, show me the big ass fucking crash. I want to see something huge. I want to see the cars go flying. And it does happen, don't get me wrong, there are big crashes, but I find that the camera just takes away from them, and I find that this was an essential part of the single player that was missing. There was no slow motion, there was no intensity, there was no, you know, intense one-on-one. I mean, I had some great moments, and if that would have just slowed down and, you know, like heartbeat and like chasing down the most wanted guy like just over the finish line, and they had some type of implement where any race that was really close would come down to like this and they had that in the previous games, but that wasn't in this game. So I just want to mention that I'm a little bit disappointed in the fact that that wasn't there. That's all. So just to conclude the single player, it's not bad. The game is still super solid, tight controls, great graphics, awesome music, really good sound. I just feel like it's lacking a little bit, and it makes me sad because it's such a great game, but it's just lacking a little bit. But let's get on to the multiplayer, the stuff that really impressed me. The multiplayer is tremendous. It's a lot of fun. The connection seems to be really good. A lot of the problems I remember with Burnout Online and the other games that in the past didn't have that great of a connection, and you get a lot of lag. Lag in racing games is the worst thing. The multiplayer I have literally no complaints about. It works well, it works smooth, everything seems to be a lot of fun, and I've had hours and hours in a row of just great fun on the Need for Speed Most Wanted multiplayer. Now, a game that has a really good multiplayer but absolutely zero single player is not deemed worthy, I think, of a $60 title. And that's what this game is. To me, the single player lack is a tremendous deficit in the game. The inability to really work on one car and the lack of customization in that car like the older games had with decals and custom this and custom hoods and 30 different types of tires and all that stuff is a really big upset. And I just found that this game should not have been released as a $59.99 title, at least now. They should have taken another year, ironed out some decent single player, some really good customization, some depth to the progression of the cars, and given the player a reason to play for more than 4 hours on the multiplayer and multiplayer only. So that's my review of Need for Speed, guys. If you have any comments, make sure to leave them below and I will make sure to reply to them. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review / commentary. I'm going to go back to writing about Shakespeare and English essay for class. And then I'm going to go probably play some video games and wait for Halo 4. I will speak to you guys later. Take it easy and have a good Monday. Bye.
Ow. Push it.